Good morning, folks. This is Andrew. I'm just going to do a short video of the street of Springfield Road in the Parkhead and Dalmarnock areas of Glasgow. It runs from the Gallowgate, just west of Parkhead Cross. The Gallowgate then runs to Glasgow Cross in the centre of the city. Springfield Road runs from north to south to London Road, and that first part of the street was originally called Dalmarnock Street, but was renamed in 1926. And the original part of Springfield Road then runs to Dalmarnock Road. I just wanted to do this video to give you an idea of the street as it is in 2025. This is the 6th of February 2025, a Thursday. The temperature is about 2 degrees Celsius. And let's go. In this area of the city, you'll see a lot of these green electricity boxes. If you look closely, Glasgow Corporation Electricity Department. That was set up in 1897, has the city crest on it, coat of arms, and many of them are being replaced by newer boxes. It is a piece of history. Pigeon friend. So you do have a mix of older tenement buildings and newer flats. Here we have the Newlands Public School. Let me just zoom in. School Board of Glasgow. This was built in 1895 and was the 51st large school building that the School Board of Glasgow built. It is now used for the social work department, and it housed 1,467 pupils. I'll just take you inside briefly. Girls' entrance there. This is perhaps the oldest building on Springfield Road. It is also, as far as I can tell, the only building to host one of these, which is an Ordnance Survey benchmark used by surveyors. And these marks were placed on older buildings and structures to allow the calculation of the height above sea level. In this case, 26.54 metres. And next door, we have St Michael's Primary School. This was built in 1961 for a capacity of 680 pupils. The current roll being 362. Roman Catholic primary school. There is a large Roman Catholic population in this part of the city, perhaps linked to past industry and Celtic Football Club. Here we have Dalmarnock Street, park area. Another set of tenements with various shops. And to the right here, we have a new housing development, Springfield Gardens. This was built around 2012 on the site of the old AG Bar soft drinks factory, which had been on the site as far back as 1887 and closed in 2007, moving to Cumbernauld. Perhaps Scotland's other famous drink, Iron Brew, was first brewed here in 1901, along with another family factory in Falkirk. Next bike station, people make Glasgow empty. I'll just cross over briefly. Here we have Whitby Street. Now this street actually has had three names, believe it or not. The first, when it was built, was Sir James Thompson Drive, and it was built around 1897, along with a branch of the railway into Glasgow. To the right here was Parkhead Station, which opened in 1897 and closed in 1964. Sir James Thompson, he was the general manager of the Caledonian Railway Company, who built that railway. Now around 1901 it was changed to Winston Street, possibly after Winston Churchill, and then in 1925 changed again to Whitby Street. Now, despite the railway station being closed and the wood being planted, locally known as Whitby wood, it is rumoured that the platforms may still be there, buried. I'll just cross back over. We also have the three 15-storey blocks of the Helenvale Street flats. Aye. Just for history and all that. You alright? Likely chap there with his iron brew, good on him. Yeah, so the Helenvale Street flats were built in the 70s on the site of an old steelworks. We've got some drainage issues here, as you can see, and this is Jane Field Street. Lovely view of Celtic Park, football stadium, here since 1892, and also known as Paradise. Supposedly, after a local journalist commented that stepping across from the old Eastern Necropolis cemetery It was like stepping into paradise. We're now approaching London Road, where the postcode area changes from G31 to G40, and really this is where we pass from Parkhead into Dalmarnock. Now the next section of the street, the original section of Springfield Road rather than Dalmarnock Street, it's been changed beyond all recognition since that Glasgow hosted the 2014 Commonwealth Games. Almost all the buildings are new, and there's a fair amount of vacant ground still to be developed. Let's see if I can cross. Yeah. So this is London Road. It runs also to Glasgow Cross in the city centre, and to the east it runs to Tollcross and eventually to Mount Vernon. Maybe one of the longest streets in the city. And I just wanted to show you, so we have this set of tenements that were built in 1901, a Glasgow style corner tenement. Some shops on the ground floor. And on the other corner, a newer block built in 2023. So 123 years apart, and two different tenement style buildings. Let's keep going. Here we have a post box, and I recently learned that you can tell roughly when post boxes were placed by looking at the royal cipher. In this case, it is Edward VII was in power at the time. It's ER, and you can see number 7 in your Roman numerals. E stands for Edward, R stands for King in Latin, Rex, and that shows the post box was placed between 1901 and 1910. You can also see some road markings here. Red throughout the country stands for electricity, white for telecoms. I'm hoping it does indicate that there will be some development here. This site was last used as a kind of construction staging area during the Commonwealth Games, but has lain derelict since. The wooden hoarding, as you can see, is disintegrating. So all along the left-hand side here, east, we have the Athletes Village that was built in time for the 2014 Commonwealth Games to house the athletes. 700 properties that were then passed on to a mix of housing associations and private sale. We had Delhi Lane, and that is Melbourne Place. Really, as you can imagine, all the street names in that area relate to the Commonwealth, specifically Australia. Hamilton Gate coming up next. And again, in relation to the Commonwealth Games, here we have the Emirates Arena. Capacity of 6,500 in the arena itself. Hosted various competition events and has been used since. The complex also has the Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome on the other side and a Glasgow Life gymnasium. Do have a dentist, GP practice, and chemist. This building was opened in 2015, known as the Legacy Hub, run by the People's Development Trust. Unfortunately, it closed in 2019 due to financial irregularities, embezzlement by some of the leaders of that charity. It went into administration. The last time this was used was for a COVID-19 testing centre during the pandemic. It's a shame that it's not been used since, but Glasgow City Council are letting it shortly, so hopefully it can be put to a good use for the community. You do get a sense of the scale of the Emirates Arena here. Coincidentally, the sponsorship deal to call it the Emirates Arena has recently expired, and they decided not to renew it. They've not been able to find a replacement, so I guess it'll still be called the Emirates Arena just without any payments. Perth Lane on the left here. Now, Glasgow is hosting a slimmed down version of the Commonwealth Games next year in 2026, and the Emirates Arena will be used as one of the venues. So let's hope. I know, it's nice today.
And didn't take as much effort as you do.
Hi, thanks. He's referring to the litter picking that I do on a regular basis. Now, these are probably the only original houses left on this side of the street. Here we have Bogside Street. And the street names on this side relate to areas of Ayrshire. Victoria Alone there. Variety of styles. Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to do this video was just to show the street as it is now, because there have been a lot of developments and there are more planned, which hopefully will come to fruition. So maybe I'll do another one in a few years to highlight the changes. Apologies for any poor camera work. This is actually my second attempt, but the first one I did a time lapse and sped through it in only 5 minutes somehow. Here we have Irvine Street. And London Avenue. I did have a look at some of the old maps, and these houses seem to have been here since the 1930s, as far as I could tell. They're in reasonable nick considering. Do quite like them. Now you probably won't be able to see due to the sun, but on the left we have the Riverside Care Home. This was also built as part of the Athletes Village and then repurposed into a care home for the elderly, and there's space for 120 old folks there. Here we come to Surn Street. This perhaps is the widest junction going. It can be challenging to cross the road. That's a lighting streetlight control box. The car drove into it a few months ago, and they're still working to repair that. And here we have Lily Street. Some good metal bollards here. Not much will get through that. Over there we have Riverbank Primary School, opened in 2019, serve the local community. Current roll of 356 pupils. These are the newest set of houses and flats just been completed. 22 houses and 19 flats for the new housing association. Sunny Bank Street there, extremely sunny. And we do have vacant ground now at the end of the Commonwealth Village. There are plans for phase 2 of the village with 125 houses, and I think they have actually started working those. But as you can tell, it's taken some time. It will be nice because these areas of vacant ground or spare ground end up being used for dumping rubbish and are really not looked after. Now here we're approaching Baltic Street. Which runs in both directions. And here we have another bit of spare ground. But the portion on the left is scheduled to become a Lidl food store. Planning permission has been given, so we're just waiting for work to start. It does look like some sort of surveying work is ongoing. And these blue markings, I believe, from the plans indicate where the main entrance will actually be. We're now approaching the end of the street, folks, end of the road. This is Dalmarnock Road. It runs northwest to Bridgeton Cross. New flats, and just the end there you can see Dalmarnock Railway Station. Also built in time for the Commonwealth Games. And to the southeast, it runs across the river over Dalmarnock Bridge, not too far, and then into Rutherglen where it ends at Farm Cross. So folks, there you have it, Springfield Road. I do hope to do some of the other streets, firstly in the East End, and possibly ones running into the city, just over the next wee while, primarily for my own interest, but hopefully if you're still watching, it's been of interest to you as well. So I'll round up here, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day. Cheers. Bye.